Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's Breach Report. We have a lot to cover in this week, from zoomcar basically getting all their data revealed, to Iran actually purposefully slowing down their internet, to all the way to your air fryer spying on you. Yeah, you heard me, air fryer. There's a lot to cover in this week and, some weird stories to go through, but also some really important ones. So, without further ado, let's not waste your time and let's dive straight into it. Alright, so starting off strong, the car sharing company zoomcar says a hacker accessed personal data of, get this, 8.4 million users with an M. Do you know how many people that is? That's like 8.4 million. Now, the Indian car sharing marketplace zoomcar has revealed that the hacker accessed 8.4 million customers, which includes, just the usual names, phone numbers, and car registration numbers. This is an Indian company which operates over in India, Egypt, Indonesia, and Vietnam. It has 99 cities that it's in, managing over 25,000 cars, and has 10 million users. So let's do some maths here. 8.4 million out of the entirety of 10 million users were actually stolen. Their data was taken. Meaning, to my quick maths, that's 84%. 84% of your users' data is currently in someone else's hands.
Are you serious?
Now, this isn't just the normal, we have that one-time code come through and that's what's been revealed, which is absolutely useless half the time. Car registration plates, names, phone numbers, basically your identity. Now, what was their response to this? Well, the usual, my bad guys, it's on us, we're doing everything in our power to get your data back. We're not going to pay them money though, but, we'll try our hardest. They literally said that they've upgraded all of their systems from their cloud to internal network, as they should. And they've also got external third-party experts to come in and look at their systems, as they should. With all these hacks recently, it makes me realize how, incompetent some companies are. They think, okay, we're not going to get hit. Why would we get hit? We only have 10 million users. Lo and behold, they get hit. And this company here can clearly afford to have some experts come in, upgrade their systems and their cloud infrastructure, because looking at this, their revenue is pretty good. In February, they reported a 19% increase in car rentals, which is about 104,000 bookings. With more bookings equals more profit, over 500% to $1.28 million. In all seriousness, a company like this needs a slap across the face of realization that, yeah, they are vulnerable, their customer data got hacked. It is what it is. So moving on from the usual, oh, I hacked your data, give me some money, we are now moving on to a more serious topic. And, look, I don't want to get political here. I'm just reporting what the article says, where Iran is actually shutting down their Wi-Fi, or should I say they're slowing it down. So Iran has slowed their internet to purposefully prevent cyber attacks amid escalating regional conflict. If you don't know, there's currently a conflict between Israel and Iran right now, where both countries are playing battleships or battle missiles, firing missiles at each other like it's a game. But over here, Iran are actually slowing down their Wi-Fi on purpose. Yes, Iran themselves, not Israel, nothing to do with them. They're purposefully doing this so they can get ahead of the game. Now, the spokesperson of the Iranian government has come out and said that they've done this to maintain internet stability, and the move is temporary, targeted, and controlled to ward off cyber attacks. Now, it's not the first time Iran have been hit of cyber attacks. I'm not sure if you remember, but there was something called the Stuxnet, which I'll do a video on very soon. But yeah, this is getting ahead of the game, and I can actually, in a way, see where they're coming from, because while you can send billion missiles, okay, not billion, because that's a little bit excessive, while you can send loads of missiles at each other, targeting someone with cyber warfare, going for their actual systems is a lot more damaging in many different ways, or if not at the same level. And while this conflict is getting worse and worse, we could look at a potential cyber warfare where both countries are going to attack each other in different ways. Now, this is insane because it's showing that these countries realize that there's more than missiles, that they can attack each other's infrastructure because of their digitalization of literally everything. And so that moves on to the next story. Air fryers. Now, this one is absolutely ridiculous. You may be asking, Dan, how on earth can an air fryer possibly be hacked or can possibly have anything related to cybersecurity? Imagine you're just cooking a chicken and someone just hacks your air fryer and just turns it off, and you come back 30 minutes later and it's raw. That would be insane. No, but in all seriousness, the UK is looking at a potential GDPR breach where your air fryer may be stealing data from you. How long you cook your pasta in your air fryer. Who's cooking pasta in air fryer? Is that an actual thing? Let's just look at the article. Smart air fryers ordered to stop invading our digital privacy. Now, they say that it's breached the privacy laws such as the UK's version of GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation, and that allows products to process user information. Now, they say that they ask for consent when processing this kind of data. Now, me asking, Dan, what type of data are they looking at when I use my air fryer? What important things could they know about me? Well, that's a very interesting question to answer, and I'm here to answer it. So, things I have that they could possibly look into and which was reported is things like names, addresses, and emails, usually the usual like we go through on this channel, and also usage data. So things like how long you've been using your air fryer or device, because this covers not just air fryers, it covers smart speakers, refrigerators, lighting, smart toys, so loads of different things. But usage data is one of the main things that they look for. So if you've been using your fridge and it's been open for 20 minutes, then they know that. Or if you've used your air fryer for an hour, they know that. Why a company needs to know this from personal use is beyond me. Do your own testing if you want to know about usage data. But of course, we live in times where people can steal our data and it's no problem, and our information is freely on the internet. But that's not even the worst part, because they also look at sensor data, things like temperature, motion. Even worst case scenario, your fridge could be listening to you. Yes, in some cases they have access to audio. The fact that some of these things get equipped with a microphone to begin with, this isn't just like spying, in a way that they've placed a microphone there just for listening. That's probably one of the reasons they've put one there. But sometimes they've added the feature that you can interact with your device. So say you go up to your air fryer and say, cook my chicken for 20 minutes. There we go. And it starts cooking. I don't know if that's an actual thing, but that's something I could actually see a microphone being added in. At this point, I'm going to throw every smart device I have out in the bin. I'm going free digitalization. In fact, I'm going to live in the woods. But what the ICO is demanding is to obtain clear user consent to actually let people know what their data is being taken away from them, and also explain why they collect that data, what they actually collect, make it easy to withdraw consent, disclose how long they keep that data for, and ultimately process data fairly and transparently. In all seriousness now, they don't need access to all of that stuff. If you have that product and you've released it, you've done that testing. You don't need to know how long someone's using it for. You don't need to know, have access to audio. That should all be done within the tests before you actually release it. But no, we're all the little rats out here and we're the little test subjects. So if you have any smart devices, like a smart fridge with a fat iPad at the front, maybe reconsider and actually just getting a normal fridge. So yeah, that's it for this week's breach report. There was a lot to cover, from literal serious things to more goofy things. This week's been pretty entertaining, and yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this one. If you have, then please drop a comment, subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Goodbye.